have become mixed as a result. I also think there would have been a slight falling off anyway, you know, being unable to hit the same levels for the last 2 seasons.
Referee Paul Tierney has blown for a free kick as Thiago slowly picks himself up.
Well, he's become quite an aggressive performer, McTominay, and that's just mistimed. There's no malice in that. It's just happened so quickly that Thiago's beaten him to it. I don't think there's any real damage.
You mentioned Paul Tierney, the 40-year-old from nearby Wigan. It is the biggest game of his career today. Wijnaldum. Robertson. Martial. Pogba. That's an invitation for Rashford, which is halted by the offside flag.
I just wonder whether he's been placed centrally, whether he can play off Henderson and just take him on for pace, who's playing now left of Fabinho as well. So you just wonder whether that's a comfort thing, whether Henderson just feels a little happier on that side. You would think not, because he's right-footed.
Thiago. Wijnaldum. Pogba. This is Henderson. How well Bruno Fernandes has adorned this Manchester United team.
Well, I posed the question in midweek at Burnley. Name me a player who's had a big impact, immediate impact, coming to the Premier League. I mean, a lot have to ease their way in, slowly but surely, and many struggle, and yet he's just breezed in.
In Manchester United terms, you might say Eric Cantona, but he at least eased himself in by going to Leeds first. Cantona's name is one that's writ large when you look at the history of this fixture. Being at Old Trafford 26 years ago when he dramatically returned from his 6-month ban in this game in a thrilling 2-2 draw. Fabinho. Shaqiri. To Salah. Firmino. Wijnaldum. Thiago. Alexander-Arnold. And again, Thiago, just too much weight on that.
Yeah, he just went for a little flick with the outside of his foot, but he left Fred well and truly behind him with a lovely piece of footwork, Thiago. Let's watch when he receives this back. And Manchester United know that he's one that they've got to get very tight on, because you don't want to be allowing him pick passes. Yeah, just too easy really to get past Fred, and that was clumsy.
Such a shame that Liverpool haven't seen more of him. It's only his 6th appearance and just his 3rd start because of injury. Fabinho. Lindelof. Wan-Bissaka. teams separated geographically by just 34 miles.
Well, the inevitable, one fullback to another. Alexander-Arnold picking out Robertson, as is so often the case, back and forth.
Wijnaldum. Tonton. Manchester United's improvement clear to see from their on-field performances, but also statistically. Since Sir Alex Ferguson retired in 2013, only once said they've been better off at this stage of a season in terms of points. Firmino came off Maguire and falls for Robertson.
Yeah, Firmino could have actually gone back to Thiago, who found the Brazilian in the first place with that pass then. And just watch, he gets up Thiago and makes the run. And Firmino decides to hit when he could have slid him in. And when it did break to Robertson, that little bounce just before he hit it is always difficult then to get over the ball and keep it down.
Fourth time that Solskjaer has faced Klopp. It's the fifth time that the Norwegian has pitted his skills against Liverpool in a managerial capacity.
Yeah, and that's a very healthy amount of the ball that Liverpool have had up to now. Manchester United have been a little clumsy at times in loose with their passing. And being loose with their passing. Ball is the problem this time.
That's first casualty of the afternoon. Examined by Jurgen Klopp, who didn't need a fresher gauge to tell him that it was not up to scratch.
I'm surprised VAR hasn't intervened.
I'm not sure a flat ball is one of the criteria, is it?
I knew you'd say that to me.
Sorry, did I spoil it? Salah on the burst. Wijnaldum. Thiago. Shaqiri, who's been very involved. This is Salah. And now it's Shaw. The season's longer and more aerial back passes.
Yeah, I just mentioned a short time ago about maybe...
Here's Mane. And Firmino with the shots.
Yeah, not the control on his left side, but I was just talking about the passing accuracy which you just saw, and Manchester United have maybe been sloppy on a few occasions in trying to get the ball upfield. Liverpool are working it much better, and there's an example. Incisive. On his weaker side, Firmino, no conviction in the finish. But wonderful work by Mane just to be aware of what was around him.
Martial finding Fred. Touch from Fernandes back to the Brazilian. And he now seeks out Rashford. And the whistle is now gone as Robertson falls to earth.
That was almost a dream pass from Fred. I mean, he did so well to work it up the left side. And then he thinks he's releasing Rashford into the perfect space. Go on, pick your spot, son. That is an absolute beauty, just slightly overdone, and Robertson's able to get involved.
Lindelof. McTominay. It's Pogba. Really effortlessly out to an offside Anthony Martial. Liverpool get on with it. Henderson. Wijnaldum. Thiago.
He's fairly quick, Alexander-Arnold, but Thiago knew as soon as he hit that it wasn't subtle enough. And there they are together again.
Shaqiri. Thiago. Referee waves play on. And this is Robertson. Wijnaldum. Shaqiri in for Salah. And Fred clean enough in the tackle.
It's well played. Just denying him a chance to come back on his left.
But Liverpool are back for more with Thiago. And now Wijnaldum. Shaqiri. Wijnaldum.
He wasn't taking any chances then, Luke Shaw. You necessarily need to knock it straight out.
Henderson. Sadio Mane. Robertson. And Shaqiri with a deflection on that. It'll be a corner.
Yeah, I think Shaqiri's trying to go for the other side completely. And he's done that a few times, the Swiss. Just able to walk into space. And United midfield... Yeah, the United midfield just seems to be a little lopsided on occasion. And Shaqiri is getting that room.
Henderson having a word in the ear of Firmino. Alexander-Arnold, headed by Lindelof. Alexander-Arnold. This time it's Pogba. Salah gives it to Wan-Bissaka. Pogba. Fielded by Alexander-Arnold, who feeds it forward for Mane. And Mane on for Firmino, who steadies himself. It'll fall for Salah.
Yeah, he would have needed perfection on that, the way he hit it, Mo Salah. Not the easiest. It all came from the Pogba cross-field attempt, which Alexander-Arnold dealt with. And it's great running and communication from Firmino to let Mane know he was on the outside. And that's asking a lot. And De Gea's appealing to the assistant that the flag should have gone up in the first place. Just trying to pick out the far corner, wasn't he, Firmino? And coming back on his right.
Henderson. Salah. Sorted out for Robertson. Mane. Shaqiri. Alexander-Arnold. Shaqiri again.
Yeah, we wonder whether Liverpool would play the 4-2-3-1 system, which can get Shaqiri further up the pitch, but he's doing that anyway, naturally. From that midfield position, he's begun in.
Robertson. Mane. Out off McTominay. Now then. Robertson. Lindelof.
That's in a good 10 yards outside his box, as if he wants some activity. It's all Liverpool in terms of the ball.
Wijnaldum. Alexander-Arnold. Readjustment by Harry Maguire. Untidy jump by Martial. He was fouled by Shaqiri.
Yeah, Shaqiri's deemed to have just kind of bent into Martial as he made his leap, and the referee has seen that as a foul. Yeah, it's when you're in the air like that and somebody does connect with you, it just knocks you off balance, so you're not sure how you're going to come down.
In Martial's case, it was right on the base of his spine. Maguire's clearance partly blocked. Out only as far as Wijnaldum. Thiago. Liverpool pressing strongly. Shaqiri.
Yeah, it was Maguire started this. He was just a little too sluggish in releasing it. Firmino got something on it, and that's not good work either from Fred. And once it did find Shaqiri, because Manchester United sat off and it's on his favoured, strongest side, he thought, why not?
It's Marcus Rashford. McTominay. Luke Shaw.
Firmino again. Yeah, and Fred raises his arm by way of apology. Yeah, a healthy amount of efforts from Liverpool, and say they've had the vast majority of the possession. But in terms of excitement in each penalty box, little.
Bruno Fernandes. Shaqiri. Shaw. More progress than he might have expected. It's Bruno Fernandes now. And the way for Liverpool was Fabinho. Maguire. It's a goal kick.
Well, there's a healthy defensive respect being afforded by both teams. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has seen a sponge-like performance from his defence so far, and Liverpool likewise, you know, quick to get back behind the ball.
The last 8 meetings of these titanic rivals, 5 have ended all square. Manchester United, in fact, have only won one of the last 10 games between the clubs in all competitions.
The referee just having a word with Robertson because he'd blown the whistle and he went sliding on. Wijnaldum fouled Pogba.
He's been faced with care by Bruno Fernandes. Now needs to be delivered with care as well. Very close to Shaw. Wijnaldum found himself outnumbered in that area of the penalty box.
I just think Shaw must have got that back through Mane's legs.
It's Mohamed Salah. Mane. Fabinho. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Robertson. Alexander-Arnold. For the other fullback, Robertson, been asking quite a bit of him.
Yeah, but it's non-stop running from him, which is obviously great to see from Klopp's perspective. He's relentless, the Scot, and he often picks him out too.
In the territory where we're describing their understanding as telepathic, Jim?
Well, at times it would seem so. Certainly, last season when Liverpool were absolutely flying, they were immense.
Bruno Fernandes, Pogba.
Just remember that night. I think you might have been there on Boxing Night at Leicester.
Leicester, yeah.
And Alexander-Arnold pretty much ran the game from right back.
It's an astonishing performance. Bruno Fernandes. And Fabinho penalised. Referee wants a word as well.
Yeah, I think Fernandes not happy because it is the arm that seemed to make contact with his head. It's the hand. He'll survive.
Half an hour and a little bit of very honest endeavour, but too much by way of inspiration as yet. Shaw. Misjudgment by Alexander-Arnold and Mane then. In the end it's academic because the flag is up for offside, but
he'll be relieved, Alexander-Arnold, because remember early on at Southampton, the set piece, we wore Prowse, and he didn't take it on his chest as he had meant to do. And he shouldn't have let that pass him either.
Harry Maguire, who does have an important goal scored here on his CV in a 1-1 draw for Leicester. Shaw. And Shaw brought down. It's a free kick, very definitely within range, and it's going to be a yellow card as well, the first of the game.
Yeah, I think Manchester United will have a queue formed as to who's going to take this. It's Shaqiri, who was guilty of the offence. Didn't need to make any contact. there were enough red shirts to stop Luke Shaw in front.
Well, Bruno Fernandes, as one would expect, very much at the heart of this. Fred in attendance too.
Making up the numbers. I mean, once upon a time, Marcus Rashford would have been taking over on this, but no longer with the influence of the Portuguese.
It is Bruno Fernandes! And by the response of the players on the pitch, notably the taker and the goalkeeper, that was close.
Well, his reaction, I think, says it all. And that, Alisson was scrambling as fast as he could to get there. Almost perfection. United's first attempt, John. It's taken a while.
Here come Liverpool with Salah. And it was Firmino who was following in his wake and nearly profited.
Yeah, and I don't think Salah actually meant to pick him out. I think Salah just got his legs in a muddle. And it just kind of spurted out into the path of Firmino. To be honest, I'm thinking he should have hit this harder.
Bruno Fernandes. And here's Rashford. And Liverpool for once are stretched and uncomfortable at the back. Numbers returning, but here's Pogba. And Liverpool can breathe again.
Well, Jordan Henderson's toe did that, just took it away from Pogba. But those are the moments Manchester United are waiting for, and they come alive.
Mane. Firmino. Shaw surrenders it to Alexander-Arnold. In the end, it seemed that offside was given against Marcus Rashford as he broke forward in that last Manchester United attack.
Just to confirm as well, John, that Firmino attempt was the only attempt on target so far. So it's been very, very quiet in that regard.
Pogba. Scoots away from Rashford. Salah. Firmino. Thiago. Shaqiri. Martial for Manchester United. Getting away from Alexander-Arnold, and it wasn't the first Liverpool player that he'd beaten. No way past Fabinho.
A terrific tackle, but it was good play initially. I think it might have been a nutmeg on Alexander-Arnold from Martial.
Robertson teased in for Salah.
Yeah, Salah sampling life on the left and Mane sampling it now.
Mane in for Wijnaldum. Trying to return the compliment.
I just wonder whether Wijnaldum could have swiveled the other way and hit it. I think it was on.
McTominay. Force back.
I suppose Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has always got the possibility of tweaking what he has sent out there. You know, Martial could go through the middle, Rashford could go to the right. Pogba could switch left. You see now, Fernandes basically plays up as like the second striker off Rashford, and it becomes a 4-4 for Manchester United defensively. And it's compact and tight, and the numbers are denying Liverpool.
Salah, Thiago, that was Harry Maguire.
Yeah. And another careless attempt at a clearance from Fred.
Pogba and Rashford, and Alisson does get the action that he was craving. The flag has gone up for offside, but Alisson's had a canter at long last.
But I mean, Marcus Rashford has to stay on full alert, because one of these you would feel will come off. I mean, that's a very tough call for the assistant. We will never know, John, because it didn't lead to a goal.
You seem desperate for some VAR, Jim.
No, I'm not.
This Salah. He's frustrated by the referee's whistle, and he shows it in the way that he tunks the ball away.
We had enough in midweek at Burnley with the Luke Shaw tackle and the possibility of Robbie Brady sending off. Yeah, and there's no hard feelings after this. Mane just arrived onto Shaw's foot, accidental, and they've slapped hands. That's against the protocols now, isn't it?
Stop it. You're becoming so picky in your old age. Rashford. Henderson in retreat, and Rashford squared it to a non-existent colleague, and now the flag does go up, which was always the suspicion.
Yeah, and certainly did look it on that occasion. Not on the earlier one. Yeah, the extra touch or two from Wan-Bissaka.
I just wonder, the way that you've described how Manchester United are setting themselves up, you've also described the options that they have, but does this look like a side that's been designed basically to come here and hope to get a point, or one that has greater ambitions than that?
No, I think there's ambition to get the victory, but it all depends on solid defence. Look, I think in his reign, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, particularly in the bigger games, has often relied on the counter-attack, and it served this club, Manchester United, extremely well. And I think they're looking to, not looking to, but I think it has been applied once more.
Thiago. Wijnaldum. Robertson. Time now looming on the horizon.
Sorry, John, I was going to say, I mean, Liverpool, the champions, are the best footballers out there. There's no doubt about that. I think we've seen that since the first whistle. But Manchester United are not bothered about that. And many times have we seen teams win with very little of the possession.
Pogba. Free kick, careful to see. Fred. Scott McTominay. Lindelof. Pogba, Rashford by the penalty spots. Martial was supporting him.
Yeah, and to be fair to Pogba, he's tried to make that run on several occasions.
Lindelof away. To this point, perhaps unsurprisingly, it's not been one of the more expansive meetings of Liverpool and Manchester United. So they're playing first in the Premier League, 3 points between them. Whilst it's a game, the result of which is going to determine where the title ends up, it is one that's certainly a signpost fixture in the midst of the centre portion of the season. Rashford. Martial. Both teams will be one game short of the exact midway point of the Premier League campaign after this. Lindelof.
Yeah, because he was hurried into it. I think Liverpool do that to you. They press you. And he's just got to be happy with what he's seen, that the score is the way it is.
We're anticipating one additional minute at the end of this first period. Sure. Thiago. Salah. Lindelof jumping with Mane. Robertson. Mane. And up goes the flag. Jurgen Klopp in charge of a Premier League game here for the 100th time today. Quite the record, 72 wins and 4 defeats. It's a bit of a battle, a bit of a struggle today to break down determined, well-organised opposition who just happen to be the current league leaders.
Yeah, I think Liverpool have played quite well. Manchester United have defended very well.
Shaqiri, and with that we have half-time. Not a thriller, not yet. Plenty to admire in the approaches of both these sides. Liverpool certainly the more ambitious and showing greater aggression. Shaqiri centrally involved on his first league start for 13 months. Pogba has done his bit, but both sides have lacked when it has come to the creation of decent goal-scoring chances. Half-time at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0.
Yeah, hasn't exactly sparkled. It's been very watchable, though, in terms of tension. 9 total attempts for Liverpool to just 1 for Manchester United. Tells you a lot about the way that both sides are approaching it. 1 effort on target, though, from Liverpool from those 9, and none so far from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side. And they continue to rack up, don't they, these statistics. 67% possession for Liverpool, 334 total passes to 169. Accuracy is better, 2 corners to none. You get the general picture. Liverpool have dominated, but United have defended really well. And our highlights will reflect that as well. Liverpool dominance, Liverpool possession, but as yet no way through for the home side, and Manchester United went close with an excellent set piece as well. Liverpool on the front foot from the start. Sadio Mane trying to thread a way through. Shaqiri then did likewise. The spare man here was Robertson, the left back, and he rolled it into the side netting. Better chance was to come for Andy Robertson. This was Thiago getting involved, and then Firmino looking for a little bit of space himself. Deflection came through to Robertson. He caught it okay, but was always underneath it. Tried to slash across it into that far corner. But still, Liverpool pushed and pressed. Still, United defended particularly well. Shaqiri this time threading it for Sadio Mane. Off his shoulder was Firmino. Robertson that time was really well positioned. And then they got going quickly. Robertson for Shaqiri. His effort deflected well wide in the end. Frustration for Jurgen Klopp, that's been evident in the game so far. And then Pogba gave this away, tried the Hollywood crossfield pass that was cut out by Alexander-Arnold. He laid it into the path of Sadio Mane, and then Firmino checking back, his effort blocked, and Salah flew in. And goodness me, that would have been dramatic. Now United won a free kick, Shaw brought down. Good territory this for Bruno Fernandes. Look how close this was. I think Alisson was worried. Trajectory was just perfect, just didn't get it inside the post. And then final chance of the half for Liverpool. Salah chasing forward, Maguire across to meet him. In the end, Firmino just didn't catch it. It's a really good opportunity that. But as it stands at Anfield, it remains as it started. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0.
Foden slipping inside, and he's done it again. Found the 1 inch of the net which was available. He's on a bit of a hot streak at the moment.
Oh, it could be a penalty.
Could be a penalty, yeah. That was really just a careless moment by Brighton and by Dunk in particular. It'll be Raheem Sterling who's going to take it to put the whole thing to bed in stoppage time. And he's missed it quite away as well. Gregory Hobbs delivery, Harry Kane, and there is no keeping that one out. Our Jose Mourinho side going back up to the Premier League's top 3 tonight. Jose Mourinho won't want to let this lead slip. Looks it really well. And what about that? Superb finish from Ivan Cavallero. And Tottenham made to pay for switching off in this second half.
And that's Rodriguez. Senior, here is Iwobi! Alex Iwobi gives Everton the perfect start. Now Mike Norrie. He's gone beyond the Tory far too easily, and the cross volleyed in superbly. And Wolves are very quickly level thanks to Ruben Neves. Andre Gomez. It's an interesting ball in. Keane! Carlo Ancelotti's side heading for yet another victory on the road. Wolves looking to respond. Ruben Neves! It whistles just wide. And he was caught there. And Fraser, who's already been booked. Out comes the red. Newcastle United down to 10 men. Tested for Fernandes. A shot trying to get it behind. So they're appealing there, Sheffield United. Andy Madley will take a look at the screen. Billy Sharp felt it hit the hand of Fernandes. Penalty, Sheffield United.
Sharp sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Finally, in the 18th game, Sheffield United win. Shaw. Hope thought about coming, thought better of it. Maguire, it's in! Harry Maguire has scored! No, he hasn't. Oh.
He's definitely made contact with Peters before he's got his head to the football.
Rashford, Martial's in the middle, Giovanni's in the middle, Shaw and Pogba in the middle. That's Pogba! That's brilliant! That is an outstanding volley finished by Paul Pogba, and they are top of the Premier League in the second half of the year for the first time since 2013.
By the start of the 2020-21 season, 211 Frenchmen had played in the Premier League, making France the most represented country in the competition after England. The first is still considered by many to be one of the game's most charismatic figures.
Here's Cantona! He's done it!
Eric Cantona began the Premier League's inaugural season with the then defending champions Leeds United. With them, he scored the new competition's first hat-trick. But in November 1992, he joined Leeds' bitter rivals, Manchester United.
He walked into the building straight away. You knew that he was a Manchester United player even before he kicked the ball, just by his presence and the way he held himself, and he was going to be a big player.
During Cantona's 4.5 years at Old Trafford, the club won 4 league titles and 2 FA Cups. Patrice Evra's league success at United was even more remarkable. The international left-back lifted the trophy 5 times at Old Trafford.
Space here for Evra, and he scores!
Evra made a total of 278 Premier League appearances, but the record for the most made by a Frenchman currently belongs to Sylvain Distin. During the course of 15 consecutive seasons in England's top flight, the central defender made over 450, more than any other foreign outfield player.
What a run this is, Distin! Goodness me!
Good afternoon.
Following his arrival at Arsenal in 1996, Arsene Wenger oversaw a French revolution in North London, and his rivalry with Sir Alex Ferguson helped take the Premier League to another level.
He was huge, massive in the evolution of English football, as massive as Shankly, Paisley, Ferguson, Chapman. His legacy will stay forever as one of the managers who changed English football for the best.
Wenger's arrival coincided with that of Patrick Vieira, who would go on to become one of Arsenal's most successful captains.
He could do everything. It was one of those moments where you think, my gosh, this is something really special here, this guy.
Vieira, full forward for Arsenal.
Vieira won 3 league titles with Arsenal, the third as captain in the Gunners' invincible season of 2003-04. Arguably the greatest Frenchman to have played in the Premier League was another Gunner. Thierry Henry scored 175 goals, won a record 4 Golden Boots, and was twice named Player of the Season. Henry had it all.
We're in possession with Henry. Oh, what a goal!
And there could be a break on here. Going it alone at the moment. So why not?
He made Arsenal the greatest club in English football at the time. You know, he made them invincible. He brought so much joy to the fans, so much entertainment to this club. He took the club to another level, and only very special players can do that to a club.
So we're still waiting for the opening goal as Liverpool take on Manchester United. Here are those action areas, and they echo really what we were saying. Liverpool with 35% of the play in that Manchester United final third, but United expected that, and they've defended pretty stoutly so far. So let's take a look at the average formation so far of Liverpool. It's very much as you'd expect. Thiago running things in that midfield. Firmino, well, he's the furthest forward. He's the pivot, really. Salah and Mane trying to run around him, and look how high up the fullbacks play. They can be a little further up than that, but still, Robertson's average position is pretty much entirely in the United half. And as for Manchester United, Marcus Rashford maybe just a little bit isolated so far. Martial deeper than you might normally expect or like, but it's a sign of how United have approached things. They've been well organised and very, very tight. If they're going to win it, they're going to try and win this 1-0. Marcus Rashford's touch map, you want him threatening, don't you? But this is how it looks so far. Yet to have a touch in the opposition penalty area, yet to really run with any authority so far. And here's Thiago. He has been everywhere. 63 touches so far. He's covered 5.6 kilometres in that first half. He's been Liverpool's string puller so far in that midfield. So this is the scene then at Anfield as we wait for the teams to emerge ahead of the second half. It needs a goal, doesn't it, this game, if ever a game did, because at the moment you feel that without being overly negative, Manchester United certainly have what they came for. This would keep them at the top of the table. And Liverpool, well, they're desperate for a breakthrough here. They would love to win this and move back to the top themselves. Jurgen Klopp makes his way out. Maybe just a change or two here in position and tactics, if nothing else. We'll see. Liverpool dominant, but can they find a way? Back to our commentary team, Jim Beglin, and first, John Champion.
Welcome back to Anfield. Jurgen Klopp is out there good and early. Two referees' assistants have just appeared down below, and now here come the first of the players. Harry Maguire and Fred leading out the line of Manchester United participants. This has so often been a thunderous collision in the past. It's not yet lived up to that, but it's been fascinating nonetheless for the approach of Manchester United, who've shown a tactical tweak or two. Liverpool full of intent, full of attempted aggression in the best possible way, but very few goal-scoring opportunities of note. Mohamed Salah, the top scorer in the Premier League this season. 13, one clear of Son and Kane, the deadly duo from Spurs. No changes, we're told, at this midway juncture. And the two sides more or less ready to go as full tin in the match referee appears down below, bearing the match ball as well. Salah and Shaqiri deep in good-hearted but inquisitive conversation. The 205th meeting of these age-old rivals, very different in character to the first back in October 1895, which finished Liverpool 7, Newton Heath, Manchester United's predecessors, 1. 3 goalless draws in the last 8 meetings. Liverpool kicking off intent on making sure that this does not become a 4th. Manchester United in charcoal grey, and it is Liverpool with Alexander-Arnold, and an early bit of catching practice in this second half. David De Gea. Jim, do you expect anything to change?
Not really. I think Liverpool would have been talking about the need to be sharper in terms of their finishing. We said that at the start, that's an area that they've lacked more recently.
Here's Robertson. And Lindelof just ahead of Mane.
For Manchester United, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will say same again defensively. Maybe Pogba's got to be a little more alert at times because, as I said, I think the midfield has become lopsided to try and fill in for him when Robertson makes his move. McTominay and Fred are being drawn away, and it's afforded Shaqiri a little more space than they'd like. But in terms of Manchester United as well, going forward, they can be more incisive.
Pogba.
And that's the type of ball they need to get right to send Rashford away onside.
Shaqiri. Salah. Henderson and Fabinho pressed into central defensive service again. Alexander-Arnold. Robertson. Manchester United 2 days short of a year since their last away defeat in the Premier League, and it was here. Firmino, Shaqiri, Salah. Shaqiri, Salah. Here's Mane, hit Wan-Bissaka. Andy Robertson.
That's wonderful play. I mean, he did well initially, Wan-Bissaka, because he just filled the space, and that's why Mane was only able to head the ball off him, but the tackle was beautifully timed. He's so good at that. I mean, at times he's renowned for it now. That's his reputation. Try and get past him.
Salah into the shins of Maguire, who then goes down in instalments.
Yeah, but he gets his free kick. And Mo Salah, who's often gone down in instalments, is not happy about it. But that was a wonderful ball by Alexander-Arnold to get Salah away. And again, I think he was just a little careless with his footwork. You know, he can be doing better than that. And it's been the Liverpool problem, as Cavani watches on in the hope that he will get a run.
Played here a couple of times for Napoli and PSG. Bruno Fernandes. Martial. Henderson. Trying to turn defence into attack with Mane. And Salah is up there too. Two with some support. Belatedly it's arrived. Alexander-Arnold. Thiago. Firmino. Thiago. Through the hips from Thiago. And now it's Mane. Robertson. Mane.
Yeah, that's the way around Wan-Bissaka. I always say it. A 1-2. Taking him on by yourself is extremely difficult.
The corner quickly taken. It's Firmino. Henderson. Fabinho. Salah. And Shaw behind.
Yeah, and it's a lovely little flick, and it just caught Wan-Bissaka, and he was very careful in this lean forward that he didn't make any contact with the Senegalese. But that's how you get round him.
Alexander-Arnold. Robertson. Bruno Fernandes just clipped, and the referee will go back and award the free kick.
Yeah, Jordan Henderson, not best pleased. He mouthed off at Fernandes.
Manchester United yet to beat an established top 6 team this season. The draws, couple of defeats, all of those games at Old Trafford, and of course their best form and their outstanding results have been on the road. So lost when they were up against Manchester City in the League Cup semi-final. Rashford, space here, Bruno Fernandes. Trent Alexander-Arnold wins the duel.
Yeah, he overran it a little bit. He thought about playing it upfield and decided against it and overran it, but he certainly read the Fernandes movement extremely well. Try and control that, Mohammed, will you?
It's like being asked to catch a hand grenade, isn't it? Carrick in conversation with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. McTominay. Martial. Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. Extremely well read by Fabinho, who has been exemplary really since moving into that position from midfield. Gets an awful lot of those bang on.
In terms of height available here, Maguire, Lindelof, Pogba. McTominay too, well in excess of 6 feet in height. Delivery from Bruno Fernandes. Don't really bring any of them into play. And Liverpool can break here. There's a swarm of red shirts, led by Mohamed Salah. And De Gea able to collect without undue alarm.
Yeah, it's good release as well from De Gea.
Bruno Fernandes. The switch to Pogba. It's a second attempt at it.
Sometimes Liverpool are not the only club. I think Manchester City are another. Manchester United too. I think when you have a corner against Liverpool, you can be at your most vulnerable. It was difficult for Salah to get it under control because Shaw kept him under pressure. The little wrestle once Alexander-Arnold had played it upfield.
Salah. Shaqiri. Some thought there might well have been a flag there. Firmino. Without great threat by Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, and he has remained on that side as is often the case. Liverpool, after set plays, the two fullbacks tend to stay on opposite sides for a while.
Wan-Bissaka. Harry Maguire. This is short. Fred. Manchester United's unbeaten run away from home in the Premier League stretches back 15 games. So that last defeat here, 2 days short of a year ago. occasion Van Dijk scored after a quarter of an hour, and the deal was only sealed in stoppage time by Salah.
And in those wins, it was the first time, wasn't it, away against Burnley, that they didn't concede first.
Yeah.
In terms of winning.
Yes, 7 wins on their travels, and 6 times they've conceded the first goal before emerging victorious. Which is an exciting way to go about your business, but not particularly good for the nerves.
No. Yeah, I'm sure that the fans have been on a roller coaster.
Robertson. Thiago. The intention was to return it to Robertson, whose touch let him down. It's a goal kick. I suspect that the main part of the dramatic draft has yet to be written from today's game. Things that happen in this fixture tend to be magnified and emphasised because of the nature and degree and severity of the rivalry. Also the fact that it matters so much, particularly when the sides are occupying 2 of the top 3 places in the table.
Yeah, I mean, because of where they are in the table, it feels more important, this one. It's not a decider, but it could be quite decisive if there's a win one way or the other.
The arrival of Edinson Cavani will be delayed much longer. Taking his tracksuit bottoms down below us.
I think the last Uruguayan centre forward that would have operated around here, Luis Suarez.
Another Uruguayan that played in this fixture many times, of course, Diego Forlan.
Indeed. I think he did the business here as well, didn't he?
He did.
On one occasion? Yes.
And he's fondly remembered.
Yeah. Was that the one when he couldn't get his shirt back on?
Yeah. Robertson. And Firmino.
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful running from Andy Robertson, and Pogba's, not close enough again. He's lax, and Wan-Bissaka can do very little about that. So it's all been left to Harry Maguire, far post, to ensure that a finishing touch isn't made on this, and he got enough on it. Looks like Matic is receiving instructions too, John, so he might follow shortly.
Diego Forlan, 2 goals in a 2-1 victory here 19 years ago. He's still cherished by followers of Manchester United. Henderson. Maguire trying to fend off Firmino. There was a foul. Free kick has been given.
Yeah, Maguire was bumped by Firmino, and Maguire bumped Peters at Burnley and was denied an extremely good headed finish.
So the Matador is coming on. Facing Anthony Martial. Edinson Cavani still with plenty to offer at the age of 33. 253 European club goals and counting.
and possession is remaining as strong in Liverpool's favour. Can they do something with it?
Firmino, Salah might, he still might. It's a corner.
Well, he squeezed one in, but it was very difficult because of the Manchester United legs, the amount of them that was in front. Nicely worked with Shaqiri, and then the skill from Firmino is clever. And Maguire again is in the way. He has been an awful lot. Began the season slowly, but he's where he wants to be now.
Shaqiri, not the near post flick, but not the far post finish.
McTominay was the one trying to claim that it was a goal kick for his team. But yeah, he's in that front post position and off Henderson and then him.
Look of innocence, not convincing enough.
6-yard box is crowded.
Proper congestion zone. Alexander-Arnold. McTominay again. Robertson. Salah. Henderson. Mane was waiting. Clearance is poor. Shaqiri. Salah. The outstretched limb of Cavani.
Yeah, whose arrival means Rashford returns to the left side.
Fred. Bruno Fernandes. This is in addition to the Manchester United coaching staff, their former midfielder Darren Fletcher. Much a favoured son of Alec Ferguson when he was in charge. Wan-Bissaka. Something back for more. Cavani turned into the tackle of Henderson though. Bruno Fernandes fancies it, and it's a little awkward for Alisson to deal with.
Yeah, well, at least it's something on target, and it'll give Manchester United encouragement. But it was a lovely little pinch by Pogba in the first place before it arrived to the Portuguese. Plenty pace behind it, but bang down the middle, and they're first on target. Yeah, and you've got to start somewhere, and maybe it's a spell we'll see more of that from Manchester United, perhaps. That's a good ball.
Rashford. It's read by Alisson. Behind the run was Bruno Fernandes. Down goes Cavani. And this will be a free kick and a caution for Fabinho.
It's a lovely attempt to play Fernandes in, and he'd beaten Fabinho, hadn't he, Cavani, quite easily. A little turn back inside. It's an easy decision.
It's not a nonchalant foul, but a bookable one nonetheless.
Yeah, and Rashford is involved in the discussion, at least on this free kick.
I think this would be towards the outer limits in terms of range.
Yeah, but that's why. I mean, he's got that style, Cristiano Ronaldo style, the way he can hit them.
Knuckle the ball. Trajectory at times almost impossible for a goalkeeper to deal with.
Yeah, well, you'd imagine that Maguire and McTominay have got a scarper because they've formed their own little wall.
It is to be Rashford, and it doesn't get beyond that ball. Shaw pushed it towards Maguire. It's taken in by Pogba. There's two players to deal with. One of them is Mane.
Could have stayed on his feet then in the end because Wan-Bissaka didn't commit.
Fernandes. Salah. Robertson with the drill diagonal for Shaqiri.
Shaw's looked composed. I think he's reacted well to the arrival of Telles. Competitive edge. Sure, Liverpool at this stage now would take a Shaqiri deflection, which he managed a couple of times and did for Mourinho.
Yeah, more than 2 years ago. Fabinho. Henderson. Wijnaldum. Alexander-Arnold. Shaqiri. Wijnaldum. Robertson. Mane. Lindelof, the defender, and De Gea, the recipient of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would have got the corner out of it because I think it had come off Lindelof before Mane decided to cross it.
So now go in for 2 tackles. Neither of them particularly pretty.
I mean, to be honest, it looked aggressive, but I thought they looked okay.
So did Klopp. Minutes plus stoppage time to play at Anfield. Shaw will lead this for Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, that's not in tune together. He and Rashford.
Maguire and Alexander-Arnold at the expense of a corner.
Well, he'll be concerned because it should have found the keeper, and it's moments like that when you'll be fretting now, thinking I don't want him to score from this because it's all going to come back on me.
Manchester United are in no particular hurry here. Nice sedate stroll forward for Harry Maguire. Bruno Fernandes only now arriving at the corner quadrant. Fernandes. Pogba.
Yeah, the difficulty for Pogba is that he was backing away from goal and he can't generate any power.
Mane, who was just caught a little, it just cost him half a stride. Lindelof. All their successes over the years, the front three for Liverpool, not particularly prolific against Manchester United. 26 appearances in the Premier League between the three of them against United, and just 3 goals. One each. Firmino trying to better that record here. Salah nearly fell for Firmino again.
Yeah, I think it's not working out because of the fact that Lindelof and Maguire have been reunited. And Bailly is slightly unlucky to have had to make way, but they have been Ole's pairing pretty much throughout. They've been the main pairing, and it's working against Jurgen Klopp's team.
I think it's all about the challenges of trying to claim back-to-back league titles. He managed it with Dortmund. Many people suggesting that for Liverpool to retain the title this year would be an even more significant achievement than actually winning it for the first time in 30 years last year.
Yeah, I thought that they would make a move for a centre-back in this window, but it's not the case. They're patching it up however they can. And lately, it's not the defensive side of things that's the problem. It's finding the net. And I think since that 7-2 hammering at Villa Park, they've only conceded twice in one game then, and that was the Mersey derby.
Yes, they've only let in 5 goals in their last 9 games, without Van Dijk, without Gomez, and largely without Matip. Curtis Jones is going to be with us shortly in place of Xherdan Shaqiri. Liverpool have won 32 of their last 34 home league games. Only Burnley and West Bromwich Albion in that time have denied them victory at Anfield. Astonishingly consistent record. Liverpool have also managed to score in their last 42 league games on this ground. Last team to deny them, Manchester City, October 2018. In other words, they usually find a way.
Yeah, that's true, but not more recently. Not at Newcastle, not at Southampton.
Firmino. Rashford. Wan-Bissaka. Maguire. Rashford. Cavani's calling for it. Rashford though feeds Shaw. And Bruno Fernandes. Best moment for Manchester United. Maguire.
Got to ask the question, could he have gotten more on it? You would have thought so. But against the run of play, and just watch the movement from Luke Shaw, and Shaqiri just lets him go. And Alexander-Arnold can do nothing about that. And I think maybe he could have gotten a little more behind it, but Alisson tends to do that when it matters most.
That is what Manchester United need, a good chance, and then their game plan can be seen to pay off spectacularly. Curtis Jones on in place of Shaqiri as advertised. Visitors here certainly have their platform. And they've benefited from a lot of late goals this season.
I mean, United themselves have got 21 goals in the second halves of Premier League games this season, which is quite healthy. So they've not given up on it yet. Although at times when you look at them, I know Fernandes has just had that opportunity. You do look at them. You asked me about ambition in the first half. I do think at times that they'll take that point.
Alexander-Arnold. Klopp in charge in the Premier League for the 200th time today. Jose Mourinho has a better record over the first 200 matches of a managerial career in this league. Thiago setting his sights on it, and De Gea properly extended for just about the first time. Things are beginning to happen.
Yeah, and he's got a little more in his locker because of the way he was able to just find a route past Fred and then thump one. I mean, he got really great venom into that. But it wasn't wide enough of De Gea, who wasn't taking any chances. Makes it all look so easy at times, Thiago. And again, he's been there and done it all.
He's arrived at an age 29 where he still has plenty to offer. Robertson. Jones. Liverpool still seeking a way to turn the key in a previously locked door. It's Wijnaldum. It's Thiago.
That was a much more difficult one to execute. And I think Thiago's saying to him, you didn't have to bounce it into me. And again, it's that one where, you know, when the ball is bouncing, it's very hard to get it under control. But Alexander-Arnold again to Robertson in the build-up to that. And yeah. Top corner from those are rare.
A bit of activity down below us. Mason Greenwood trying to catch his manager's attention.
Yeah, Alexander-Arnold's not happy with Fred then, the challenge, and Paul Tierney's having a word with the Brazilian. It's not easy to come here, considering the run Liverpool are on at home. It's not easy to come here and slow Liverpool down. And Manchester United have done that very well. I mean, their defensive structure has been really good. A lot of discipline goes into that, making sure you do your job. I mean, okay, you can maybe say that Pogba at times has been weak in not defending Robertson, but
swept away by Wan-Bissaka, glanced out of play by the broad forehead of Maguire. Salah, Alexander-Arnold, Jones. Second time in the last month or so that a game played here has been portrayed as the match of the season so far, because that was the tag applied to Liverpool-Tottenham just before Christmas, which Liverpool won with a goal right at the end. Firmino the man that night. Jones. Alexander-Arnold. It's difficult for Lindelof. Rashford. And he's got Cavani for company. Liverpool retreating. Pogba on the way forward as well. Rashford goes on and on alone, and the danger eventually is snuffed out.
Yeah. I think the two of them do really well because Henderson hasn't given up on this. Many would, but he stayed on the right shoulder of Rashford, and it just enabled Fabinho to get a foot to it.
McTominay.
Yeah, I don't know who he was trying to pick out there, McTominay, but Lindelof did really well, John, before we saw that break from Rashford. He was responsible because he ends up getting his foot to this from Alexander-Arnold. There you go, that will do. And then there's a lightning fast break from there when Henderson looks as if he's taken out of it. As I say, great on his part to keep him under pressure, Rashford. And eventually he did knock it out of play.
Wan-Bissaka. Pogba, big chance, big save. Critical save by Alisson.
Well, if it remains like this, Liverpool can be thankful of a point, and they can look to their goalkeeper for getting it, because he denied Bruno Fernandes a short time ago, and now it's Pogba. Little deflection on the way through, but he's got time to whack it, and he does. Doesn't place it, he goes for power, and that's another significant stop.
But for their goalkeeper, Liverpool could be staring down both barrels of a first home defeat in just under 4 years in the Premier League. Still in peril. Shaw. Pogba. Rashford was going in. It's come out as far as Fred.
Well, Alisson again has denied Rashford, who I'm not sure may have been in an offside. Yeah, the flag has gone up. He was in an offside position. But the goalkeeper's reactions were very good once more. Seemed to come off the shoulder of Pogba, and yeah, he's very much offside.
Right, change up top for Liverpool as we watch this replay. Firmino's gone off and Divock Origi has come on.
Mane central, Origi from his usual left slot.
It's his 9th career appearance against Manchester United. He's never scored against them, but he's not averse to a bit of big game drama, as his derby record against Everton shows. But it's Manchester United who are asking the questions right now. Bruno Fernandes. Five years ago today, Manchester United's last win at Anfield, Wayne Rooney's goal. Wijnaldum. Mane. Jones. Alexander-Arnold.
That's excellent again from Maguire. I mean, you can praise all of that back four from Manchester United. I think they've done a sterling job to this point.
It's very seldom that Liverpool fail to win at home. It's pretty rare that Manchester United fail to emerge victorious away. Alexander-Arnold. Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, and Ole's not given up on it yet, John, because Mason Greenwood is about to get what's left of this.
McTominay. And Pogba together. Ball off the corner flag for a throw.
they have found the greater chances second half, Manchester United, and I think Mr. Solskjaer is obviously hoping that the youngster can find the back of the net for them.
Cavani. Fred. Lindelof. Shaw. We're going to see James Milner as well, sent on by Liverpool. McTominay. Free kick is given by Paul Tierney. Mason Greenwood is going to take the place of Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, who looked back on that chance he had with his right foot a while back.
Well, Fernandes is going to have to be encouraged to leave here.
He doesn't want to go because McTominay is still down, and he's trying to claim that McTominay might have to be the one to make way.
Meantime, the board goes up again as Tierney and Fernandes are not entirely in agreement. The board goes up to say that Milner takes the place of Wijnaldum. Is limped off on the far side, but is clearly coming back on. So that should now allow Bruno Fernandes, who is not in the best of frames of mind as he leaves the pitch, gesticulating and chuntering, but he is to be replaced by Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, Pogba central now. Greenwood from the right.
Rashford here off the left and Cavani through the middle.
Yeah.
So they have the forces out there, Manchester United, but do they have the time?
And it takes a couple of seconds and the right opportunity. And, you know, both teams, not just Liverpool, both teams have a good record of scoring late goals.
It's particularly Manchester United this year. 5 stoppage time goals in the Premier League.
Well, that works.
Pogba. And again. Rashford. Shaw. 3 extra minutes to be played. Mane.
Well, I think if we are to get a goal between now and the end of it, 3 minutes time, then it will be real drama.
Origi. This fixture, no stranger to the concept of real drama. Divock Origi, and away awkwardly off the left shin of Maguire.
That will do. Anything that gets it away from goal.
Alexander-Arnold, assessing the array of those in red. Now include Origi. He's going to stand in front of the goalkeeper. Alexander-Arnold. That was Pogba. And again it's Pogba. And Milner whipped it off his toe.
Yeah, he shouldn't have hesitated. He should have just kept on running with the ball.
It stays like this, so will the league positions. To play. Verbal volley from Alexander-Arnold in the direction of Lee Betts, the linesman. And Luke Shaw taking a moment or two.
Yeah, I just wonder he's kicked into studs again. Yeah, this is often the case. But at the moment, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking at what he will consider a tactical success. And another sign of Manchester United's maturity and their improvement.
But for Liverpool, 4 Premier League games without a win for the first time in just under 4 years. And 16 years since Liverpool last went 3 consecutive Premier League games without scoring a goal. Fred. It's Jones. And Jones is taken down. It'll be a yellow card and a free kick opportunity to conclude the game for Liverpool.
Yeah, Marcus Rashford is the one who's been brandished the card for that.
So for Liverpool, this potentially is the game. We're beyond the 3 promised extra minutes. It's Alexander-Arnold. It's Thiago. Fabinho is forward. McTominay hooks it away. And Manchester United will be happier at the end of this battle than Liverpool, because for the 6th time in the last 9 meetings of these 2 great rivals, it's finished all square. And for the 4th occasion in those last 9 meetings, it has ended Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0. Jim Beglin.
Yeah, I said to you at the very start, John, that the one thing Liverpool need to add to their game, and it's obvious, is sharpness from the front 3. And it wasn't quite there. They were basically slowed down by a side who came here to deter them no matter what they had to do, to repel whatever came their way. And Manchester United, I thought, were really good defensively, extremely organised, very disciplined, and everybody put a shift in. And I think the more it went on, it looked like Liverpool were probably not going to breach their ranks. And in the end, Manchester United found the better opportunities in the second half and could have stolen it. I think that would have probably been going a little too far, and maybe on balance, this is about right. Not the greatest.
Not the greatest, not the most memorable, but certainly significant by way of a signpost to how the second half of the season may unfold. Full-time score at Anfield is Liverpool 0, Manchester United 0.
So goalless at Anfield, which was disappointing for the neutral, disappointing for Liverpool, delightful really for Manchester United, who might even have won it, but they stay top by 2 points from Leicester City, by 3 from their great rivals Liverpool. Spurs a further point behind. Manchester City with those 2 games in hand, hovering in behind, are the team in 5th, currently really the favourites for the title. We shall see how it plays out. Time for us then to take a detailed look at the highlights. A game that won't go down in the annals as one of the Premier League's greatest, but it was certainly a nice diversion on a Sunday afternoon. Started here, Wijnaldum for Robertson, weak cross wide of the near post. Couldn't wrap his foot around it. He'd get a better chance not too long afterwards. So this was Thiago driving for Firmino. Might have played it to Robertson there. In the end, it deflected through. Robertson with the volley, trying to cut across it into the far corner, sliced it over. But Liverpool was certainly the aggressors, as you would have expected them to be in the early stages. Indeed, for the entire first half. Shaqiri, a surprise inclusion in for Sadio Mane. And then Firmino, when he might have played it to Robertson ideally, sliced it wide. And then Robertson did a hustle to move it in field for Shaqiri, deflected off Maguire and behind for a corner, no more. This was Pogba's attempted raking crossfield pass that was cut out rather too easily by Trent Alexander-Arnold. And then Mane into the feet of Firmino, wanted it on his right. And it was an easy block for Lindelöf in the end. The follow-up from Salah way over. This as close as United came in the first half. Fernandes with a wonderful hit. Many thought was in. Just wide in the end. And then Firmino, who was involved, particularly in the first half for Liverpool, running inside here, trying to support Salah. That's a big chance for Firmino. He didn't catch that at all. Much better chance than he made it look. Rolls into his path here if you watch. Weaker side, that was the problem. Liverpool looking to pick up in the second half where they left off in the first. Lovely ball from Alexander-Arnold.